Good evening, Mrs. or Mr. Anderson. Or reminds me of Balderson or Balder, which is Norse mythology. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it means the spirit of man. And Anderson, son of man. Interesting. So, anyways, to let y'all understand where we're going with this one today, it's going to be an actual reaction video. I'm going to be pausing uh, throughout. We're going to go over 3 videos from this guy, CinemaSins. He's done a shitload of these, and it is what it is. It's this pop culture stuff. I'm not the biggest fan, although I don't mind watching something like that just to get an idea of movies I've never seen before or have seen. But anyways, while we wait for some more folks to get up in here, let's get back to a little bon appetit. Friendly reminder.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Are you sure this line is clean?
Later, when they find out the call was traced, it somehow doesn't occur to Morpheus or Trinity that Cypher is either bad at his job or just a dick.
Hands in your head!
Why does Trinity, or anyone for that matter from the Nebuchadnezzar, need to physically jack into the Matrix to keep an eye on Neo? Doesn't Morpheus watch him and see and guide his every move in the office building in just a few minutes? I love this opening scene as much as anyone, but it's still pretty unnecessary in the grand scheme of keeping an eye on Neo.
You don't want to mention the E taken out of the hearts in the Heart Hotel? Whatever.
I think we can handle one little girl.
Hey, how come the agents don't already know it's Trinity? How come they didn't leap into one of the cops in room 303 with Trinity at gunpoint the second they burst into the room and saw her? Or once she started kicking ass?
That's impossible.
I'm guessing Agent Smith and his two partners go around with the Men in Black memory eraser after these missions, doing impossible stunts, jumping into other people and taking over their bodies. This gives away the idea of the Matrix to normal people, right? Agent sees Trinity running, but instead of shooting her or chasing after her, decides to watch her run away as if he's never seen running before. Why is the light swinging? I admit it's a cool shot, but it wasn't hit by debris or even the wind when she dove through the window. And it stopped swinging in the next shot as evidenced by the light not moving. The agents have to visually confirm someone like Trinity in order to know exactly where she is. So how did the agents know to morph into this truck driver? How did they know which phone booth she would be headed for? Trinity's a dead woman if Agent Smith doesn't stop and wait here for a few seconds to give the movie's plot a chance to even happen. Come to think of it, why did he even feel compelled to turn the vehicle? Couldn't he have just smashed into the phone booth on his way down the street? Truck does a Fred Flintstone tire spin to buy Trinity even more time to barely escape. Truck is always further away than it was the last time we saw it so that this escape is possible.
We have the name of their next target.
The name is Neo.
We'll need a search running.
Why? Are the humans able to use computers inside your computer program to find a person by his alias faster than, well, computers are? How do you not know who and where Neo is instantly? Neo is somehow awakened by online chat. What is this bullshit on Neo's computer monitor?
My own personal Jesus Christ.
Movie hits the Jesus metaphor a little square on the head.
Something wrong, man? Now you look a little whiter than usual.
That's racist.
It's called mescaline. It's the only way to fly.
Movie promptly dates itself 9 minutes in with a reference to mescaline, of all drugs. Why not angel dust or speedballs? I know Morpheus could probably tell these assholes were coming to Neo's apartment, but how the f*** did he know the girl with the white rabbit tattoo would turn her shoulder to expose the tattoo? And how did he know Neo would see it? Isn't this follow the white rabbit shit just a bit too coy when the fate of the world is in the balance?
My name is Trinity.
Trinity.
As in Father, Son, and Holy Ghost? Wait, does this movie have religious symbolism?
And it will find you.
Why was it so important to have Neo go to the club just to tell him the Matrix is real and it will find him? I mean,
Real quick, do people only have the idea in their head, Trinity is only a religious connotation, and do they even understand, what that even means on the allegorical or metaphorical level, at least, of, like Trinity consciousness, like having your thoughts, emotions, and actions, properly aligned, that kind of shit. Whatever.
I mean, couldn't you have typed that on the computer instead of follow the white rabbit? Computer software company has no mechanisms in place to determine when flaky employees are just sitting in their cubicle meditating instead of doing actual work. It seems like
I'm surprised you didn't catch the fact that, his computer screen is blank. Like, it might not even be on, Someone else caught that in the other movie, or breakdown, whatever. But, it's such a big deal, right?
Trinity could have given him this phone last night at the club, but Morpheus relies on FedEx to send it to him.
It's not a bad point.
Hell, they could even have been talking well before Neo went into work today, and he could have avoided this altogether. Also, this phone is conveniently delivered just before the agents show up. How is Morpheus able to see Neo's location and guide him through the building, but the agents who are connected to this entire computer system called the Matrix have no idea where Neo is?
Maybe because, Morpheus and whoever's on the Nebuchadnezzar or whatever ship, they're looking, from a bird's eye view, the Matrix in code or whatever, or even, like the actual images of the coding and all this stuff. So they can see the movements and pinpoint certain things, so things to consider that maybe he should have as well, but whatever. I'm not doing this to like roast the person who made this video,
What's this happening to me? What'd I do?
Computer hacker and illegal software salesman asks why me as FBI people chase him around his workplace. I know we're in the Matrix right now, but why doesn't this thing carving its way into Neo's belly button leave any blood anywhere?
Then go to the Adam Street Bridge.
Morpheus gives Neo a meet location on a tapped phone, and miraculously no agents are there waiting for him when he arrives.
I think you're bugged.
Not that it's...
How does he know that the phone's tapped?
mattered from the time you left your apartment to go to the Adams Street Bridge to getting in a mysterious car. Also, why bug Neo in the first place? Can't you just track his movements through the Matrix itself?
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth.
They're giving him the pill so they can track him, and locate the pod that he's in the real world, not in the Matrix. Again, I don't know if he understood certain details. He's hyper focused on really trivial minutia details. Sometimes it's you're missing the point, man.
Nothing more.
That statement actually couldn't be less true.
What did he just say? 25. All right.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
That statement actually couldn't be less true.
Why? What the Look at him relishing in the the drinking of the water. Wash down that sticky tablet. Anyways.
Dramatic thunder and lightning is dramatic.
It is a movie. That's Hollywood for you. Big fucking surprise.
Means buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
Dramatic thunder and lightning is repetitive. Here's that guy Morpheus was interested in. Better disconnect him and totally forget why he woke up in the first place. Neo pulls out...
Again, man, just...
this IV without knowing what it does or whether it keeps him alive.
We have only bits and...
Yeah. Imagine waking up with a foreign fucking thing. I'd be probably asking hey, help me get this off, or why is it still here? Do I need it in my arm still? Yeah, that's super important again. But
pieces of information.
So all the stuff that doesn't make sense, we'll just chalk up to that.
Birth to AI.
AI, you mean artificial intelligence?
Well, you're a hacker, so yeah, you know what...
So yeah, sometimes people just need clarification. It doesn't mean he's asking a question as if he doesn't know what AI means, And again, I'll keep saying this every time it's brought up. The real AI is the activated individual with that hard-based intelligence, and anything that has intelligence has a soul, unlike the fucking machines. And to put that on the record, humans didn't necessarily create AI. It's been around for eons, actually. And it's not just, in this Earth realm. That's for another topic. Something that people like him could look into more and speak about this to their wider audience. That would be cool.
What AI means.
We don't know who struck first, but we know that it was us that scorched the sky.
What? How? And how does that keep the sun out?
Look up. Maybe, do you not see the fucking, chemtrails, the scalar tech, HARP, NextRad, all that shit? What the fuck? Putain de merde, mais c'est pas possible, les gars, comme ça, des fois, fait chier.
Did they blow up the sun? How was that accomplished? How do you know about this very specific detail and nothing else?
The Oracle prophesied his return.
They show the sun in the movie that he's gonna later, analyze. So why ask dumbass fucking questions like this, Oh, the sun, did they go up the sun? Wow.
Prophecy that one man will save us all cliche.
I believe that search is over.
Yeah, it's actually a common motif with movies and the hero's journey and all that stuff. You've seen those patterns. You've, gone and analyzed how many fucking movies, Look at the archetypes of the characters and all that shit. And yeah, the allegory of, you mentioned the Jesus piece. So yeah, that's the, this savior motif that they're running with, obviously, right? So yeah, the Oracle, with these hero journeys, Morpheus is like the mentor, Trinity's the lover, And the Oracle is like that wise elder that they get, specific information that unlocks certain things for them to level up and, get through the adversity and the challenges and, whatever enemy, in specific films or context, right?
What is it that made Morpheus think Neo was the one? He's a computer hacker who works at a software company. No.
Again, they can see code within the Matrix, and they might have seen a potential anomaly within Mr. Anderson.
Skills in the area of badassery. Nothing incredibly notable accomplished in his life. What was the one thing that said, yep, this dude is totally worth going through lots of trouble to unplug from the Matrix?
Yeah, again, they saw Neo as someone, a computer hacker that had potential,
Its core where it's still warm.
Oh, come on. It's probably a lot more than warm, right? The sun doesn't have anything to do with the core temperature. That shit is hot because of a variety of factors, including radioactive decay and awesome science stuff. Even if he's talking about the mantle, that shit is too hot. People would be burned alive going to Zion.
Don't you love it when people say, yeah, this awesome science stuff? They're probably the same people that will say, trust the science and be obedient little pets to the draconian control system and follow the mandates, because this man is on a date with fucking slavery. I can't overly assume these things, but you could just tell by the way they nonchalantly talk about these things, right? Sometimes. And yeah.
Whoa. Squiddy sweeping in quick.
Why do the human ships have radar-like ability to detect squiddies at greater distances than the squiddies can detect human ships? Why didn't the machines just put motion detection sensors all over the place so the human ships would be unable to move at all without being spotted? Why are the squiddies programmed only to look for electrical signatures of the human ships instead of biological signs of life, or hell, large metal things that are hovercraft shaped?
Yeah, that's been a question of mine for a long time, actually. Why didn't, the machine realm, create the technology to scan for infrared or, heat and all those things, Yeah, or just, biological sensors that can detect life, organic shit. Anyways.
The Matrix?
Do you always look at it encoded?
Well, you have to.
Wait, so when Morpheus was guiding Neo through the office cubicles, was he actually looking at falling green lines of code? Is this movie actually saying these people learn how to see real images in this code? Isn't Cypher jacked into some machine back at the ship? Is everyone asleep? There's not one person who could just happen to walk by and see Cypher hooked into the Matrix and see him talking with an agent?
Yeah, this part is really interesting. I mean, yeah, behind the scenes between certain scenes, it's yeah. I mean, who knows, right? Does it really fucking matter in the end? People can theorize and all this stuff and waste time. And hey, sometimes movies, they just be like, make something happen because the script needs it to, for lack of a better explanation, and that's just leave it at fucking that, right?
And how does Cypher get back? I thought it required someone back at the ship to wake you up and get you out of the Matrix with a hardline. Is this the first time he's
That's a good point.
eaten since he got here? After all that training and shit, he should be well aware of the awful non-Matrix food.
This is, I mean, in movies, they're not going to waste a lot of screen time, showing, every time they got to, eat some food or take a shit or whatever, right? You don't see that in the movies. Why? Because it takes up too much time. You just assume that every human in general is going to be, consuming food and, excreting it out later or whatever, digesting it and all this stuff. Like, it doesn't need to be a part of the film, for us to understand, like, oh, okay, yeah, like, but I get you, man.
It's very cool, but how do they make a connection on this call if there's no one on the other end to pick it up? Like, Neo will be racing for a ringing phone by the end of this movie, and if he could just pick it up instead of getting shot, he'd establish the connection and transport back out. But leaping into the Matrix, they still use real phone lines, but it's apparently just for show? I honestly don't know. Fuck it.
We're in.
Wait, they went back into the Matrix to see the Oracle? So is the Oracle part of the Matrix, or is she plugged in somewhere? Don't
You know this, man. Come on. I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, the phone rings. There's the crew on the ship, and obviously Morpheus, picks it up to confirm, like, yeah, we're good to go, and lead the way, whatever. It's like, carry on.
Even bring up the sequels when you defend this either.
I can only show you the door. You have to walk through it.
What?
Hold on. Let's rewind that.
How do they make a connection on this call if there's no one on the other end to pick it up? Like, Neo will be racing for a ringing phone by the end of this movie, and if he could just pick it up instead of getting shot, he'd establish the connection and transport back out. But leaping into the Matrix, they still use real phone lines, but it's apparently just for show? I honestly don't know. Fuck it.
We're in.
Wait, they went back into the Matrix to see the Oracle? So is the Oracle part of the Matrix, or is she plugged in somewhere? Don't even bring up the sequels when you defend this either.
Defend what? It's just, you have your own theory about things and questions, as if you didn't even watch the movie and follow it properly. What the fuck? The Oracle can only be, visited within the Matrix because she's a program in the Matrix. Like, wow, what a fucking revelation.
I can only show you the door. You have to walk through it.
What an asshole.
What was said was for you.
No, what a mentor. Because, it's kind of like the whole thing of, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't, make them drink, in a sense. Right? So as apprentices should, and it's also about, building trust and encouraging, courage and independence, right? And yeah, he's trying to respect the sanctity and intimacy of a one-on-one conversation with the Oracle, because having a three-way conversation is a different dynamic than a one-on-one. And I think Morpheus wanted Neo to just deal with her by himself. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I think this guy's just trying to be snarky or whatever the fuck, right?
And for you alone.
Which is why I told you what the Oracle told me while we were on the elevator.
Deja vu.
This has kind of always bothered me, even though it's actually really cool and I accept it as a fantastic idea, but this is not deja vu as we humans normally experience it. You don't see something and then see an absolute repeat of it 2 seconds later and go, wow, deja vu and shit. You usually experience something and feel like you've done it before, but it feels like you did it long ago. And chalk this up to plot convenience, even though it's awesome.
Putain, mec, mais j'ai déjà vu ça dans le passé. Mon ami, mais oui. People have different interpretations of déjà vu. What it literally means in French, translating to English, is déjà means already, and vu means seen. So, already seen that. So, if you had something that you saw and it repeats itself, voila. Anyways.
The hole wasn't there when they opened the door. So they basically kicked a hole in the wall without anyone hearing it. Amazing. Neo should definitely be dead from these bullets, but it's not time for this movie's bad guys to have good aim yet.
You must get Neo!
Damn, Smith is taking this like he's a man.
I think he was behind more than just drywall. Or it was the solid part of the drywall. You saw you have to take into consideration, the camera angles and all that stuff. And the bullet holes right there were peeping through the, what the fuck is it? The little...
And chalk this up to plot convenience, even though it's awesome. The hole wasn't there when they opened the door. So they basically kicked a hole in the wall without anyone hearing it.
The blind.
Amazing. Neo should definitely be dead from these bullets, but it's not.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know. Who knows, right? But again, they got to keep him alive so the plot can go on, right? Anyways, real quick, it looks like there's a comment. Yo, Illuminated Consciousness, what's cracking, man? Good to see you. Just going over some Matrix minutia.
Not time for this movie's bad guys to have good aim yet.
You must get Neo!
Damn, Smith is
When do bad guys have really, really good aim in any fucking movie, you know? Especially Star Wars. That shit's deplorable, right?
taking this like he's a mannequin or some shit. Yeah, no, still not time for good aim. Why are there, like, no agents down here? Stopping these guys from going back to the ship is an important part of the plan. In fact, why don't they send 20 or 100 agents for a mission like this?
You all look the same to me.
That's racist. Tank takes 2 hits.
Is it really racist? I mean, talking about the androgynous Borg-like hive mind machine fuckery. But yeah, it is interesting why, you know, the Matrix or the architect who designed the programs of these agents, why there was only like 3 of them, right? And I mean, I think all 3 of them were, you know, kind of hunting them upstairs, and yeah, the military downstairs, whatever. Even though, yeah, once the military is, you know, in a fire battle, I don't know why some of the agents wouldn't have, you know, gone down or morphed into, you know, any of those soldiers or whatever, soul dyers. But yeah, especially after Smith seemed to be wanted to be left alone for a little one-on-one fun with Morpheus. Anyways, but yeah, fucking Cypher, man.
Hits from the electricity gun but lives and is basically fine, even while only one brief shot from the same gun later takes out Cypher completely.
That red pill right up your ass!
You can see Morpheus blink at the wind power of Cypher's P in Pill.
Just pull the plug here.
Murderous Traitor conveniently kills good guys in the order of their importance to the remainder of the story.
No, I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
The leader of every ship is giving codes to Zion's mainframe computer.
So you can't just...
I can believe it. I don't like to use that word, but or I can see it in how Tank and Dozer, right? Those 2 are organic humans. They don't have any of the metallic implants in them. So taking that kind of blast, maybe it didn't completely fry them because, you know, all these, you know, implants didn't get, you know, charged up and, you know, probably causing more collateral damage to, you know, the human bodies that were unplugged from the Matrix, if that makes sense. But anyways.
Just send a message to Zion and say, yo, change the codes. They got Morpheus and they're gonna make him talk. Peace.
Those are agents holding him. 3 of them.
I know, I can't believe it's not more either.
That's why I have to go.
Why?
Because I believe in something.
What?
Neo stopped short of explaining himself twice in a row so that Trinity and Tank have to ask him what the hell he's talking about.
Every mammal on this planet.
What mammals? Are there still other mammals out there? Are they hooked up to the Matrix too? Dreaming about being in fields and getting taken down by mountain lions? Because there sure as hell aren't any other mammals in the real world, what with the sky scorched and all. Why are you talking?
And if he showed the whole clip, Mr. Smith, you know, on his monologue or whatever, or a robotologue, he talks about how, you know, I've been studying your species, your kind, in this, you know, world, and probably just, you know, like that probably includes the history of, you know, everything comprised in the environment and what we've been living around. So yeah, mammals included, you know, big whoop-de-fucking-do, man. Anyways. Right on a minute.
Talking about all the planet's other now dead mammals in the present tense, you ass. Still not time for good aim. Using lift instead of elevator proves we're not in an American city. So these guys with radios heard the call for backup in the lobby, but didn't deem it an important matter until all the backup SWAT guys...
That's interesting. This movie was filmed in Sydney, Australia. And yeah, they do have different lingo. But we all use the same words, but they say it differently in a different context. But whatever. Rewind to that. We're going to go back.
Still not time for good aim. Using lift instead of elevator proves we're not in an American city. So these guys with radios heard the call for backup in the lobby, but didn't deem it an important matter until all the backup SWAT guys died too? Why are they bursting in to tell Smith about it instead of leaping into the SWAT guys 30 seconds ago and killing Neo?
It's a good question. Maybe, you know, yeah, who knows? But yeah, that last part where you see Mr. Smith kind of like, I don't know, like coming out of some kind of trance in a sense. And because, yeah, he unplugged his shit and took his glasses off to talk to Morpheus. And yeah, if you notice, you know, throughout the whole entire movie or series, even, you don't see Smith without his glasses all that often. So, yeah, anyways.
What the hell is this agent waiting for? They don't see you! Trinity! Oh, now he pulls out the gun. And as you can see, pulling it out now has terrible disadvantages, like Neo being able to dodge the bullets.
Only human.
Even agents with artificial intelligence have to say some bullshit just before they kill someone so that the hero can be saved at the last second.
Dodge
True.
this.
However, when the roles are reversed and the good guy has to say some bullshit, apparently there is not enough time for the bad guy to get saved. Honestly,
That is cliche as fuck sometimes, yeah.
I know he's the one and everything, but even the one would have a hard time seeing the agents he wants to kill and the Morpheus he doesn't want to kill from this perspective, especially with the sprinklers going crazy on the inside.
At this point, he can see the Matrix, you know, when he's in the Matrix, you know, in code to a good degree. So, yeah, and, you know, the umpteen thousand hours of, you know, training, whatever. It makes sense, but yeah, it's a little over the top. You know, big deal.
I guess Morpheus just finally realized there are no handcuffs. This is the one and only moment in the movie when the bad guy has good aim. When he's being rained on by sprinklers, firing blind from behind a wall.
The Oracle.
She told you exactly what you needed to hear.
Okay, fine. We're gonna go with that Star Wars stuff where Obi-Wan said Anakin Skywalker was dead, and then later we find out, oh, it was just a perspective I had that wasn't misleading in any way whatsoever. But did Neo really need to hear the Oracle's prophecy about Morpheus sacrificing his life for him, and he'd have to make a choice? Wouldn't he have made the choice to try and save Morpheus anyway? Also, why did she literally spell out the future for everyone else that saw her and only get all reverse psychology on Neo? This spelling of authorized proves we're not in an American.
Yeah, what people needed to understand is that the fact that the Oracle is, you know, a program created in the Matrix, can you really trust her? And that's a question that Neo eventually asks.
American city. I guarantee you there are 100 other homeless people reacting to things like pedestrians, air, the sky, the traffic lights with just as much enthusiasm as this guy does, and it doesn't set off any alarms in the Matrix. How does the information from this fucker's just woke up vision stand out to the machines as important from all of the other shit homeless people are seeing and getting excited about all over the city?
Neo, I want to tell you something.
Something that can wait until after we're back on the ship, but feel the need to delay you with right now. Train drives through an empty station and never stops because it only comes during dramatic moments cliché.
Help! Need a little help. The door!
The one can't find a door in plain view, which was his only option. How is it possible that none of the Nebuchadnezzar...
He was asking for help. He didn't know which way to go. It's not, he couldn't see a fucking door, you fucking moron. I swear, people like this, they just love to find any opportunity to talk shit, you know? This is not what I'm doing in this video, obviously, but, you know, I'm not looking to talk shit about this guy, but sometimes, like, the hubris is like, dude, really, man? Like, what the fuck, man? These fucking movie nerds, so. Anyways.
Nezra crew remember this building from the opening scene like Agent Smith does? Especially Trinity, who was fucking there. Even though Neo's mind believed himself to be dead, the power of boners is far stronger.
And then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see.
For instance, the 2 sequels to this movie. Also, the 2 sequels to this movie.
It's the only way to fly.
Not a whole lot to really gain from that. I mean, people like this, they do it for entertainment value, obviously. They're not, like, being all serious. Like, this is something that, you know, we can learn from and apply into our lives and all this stuff and get philosophical with the ideas presented, you know. But you know, a lot of people just watch movies for the entertainment value, which, yeah, obviously a lot of people are pretty sorely disappointed these days because, you know, it's not that entertaining because it's more cringy than anything else. But that's woke Hollywood for you. So with that ending, I'm almost surprised he wanted to even do a Matrix 2 and 3 breakdown. Or I wouldn't call it a breakdown, but this, you know, his weird way of tallying errors or inconsistencies, or his way of seeing lack of logic of certain scenes or whatever, right? But yeah, you can tell people like this expose themselves of just the lack of logic they have themselves, you know, and you know, voila, myself included, right? No one's exempt of this shit, you know. So yeah, it's just best we be more humble. We can take more of a Socratic approach to certain things, especially if we haven't mastered all the fucking information there is to know about a certain subject, right? You know, so voila. Instead of, you know, kind of coming off as a fucking know-it-all, like people like this in a sense. But anyways, we are gonna reload the second version of this shit. And my apologies. I think I might have had my mic muted in the beginning there, but whatever. What's the point of saying it now? Although I recognize and realize. Anyways, I'm scared.
Okay, we get it. The Matrix. Digital. Programmy. This is Neo's dream.
It's become a cult classic already, so, you know, they're kind of feeling themselves, for lack of a better word, you know. Wouldn't you? But, you know, if you were making that type of monumental work.
Dream about Trinity dying, and it's so detailed he dreams of the guy clocking out at the end of his shift. Was the motorcycle rigged with C4 or something? Ah, a full 0.001% of the bullets fired in this scene found their target. Opening scene was just a dream cliche. Also, so much for that I'm gonna show these people a world without you mission that Neo promised at the end of the first Matrix.
I can't say I fully understand your reasons for volunteering.
Well, I can say it. The guy that played Tank got all divish and demanded too much money, causing the screenwriters to invent both Link and his reason for joining the crew.
That's right.
Or wrong. He's gonna act like that really matters, huh?
That can't be.
Why not?
Morpheus somehow heard this conversation all the way back here.
Morpheus, glad you could join us.
Niobe.
Yeah, they're speaking in some kind of tunnel that echoes out. You know, you check the acoustics on that, and it's like he's overreaching on some of the shit, dude. What the fuck, man? Sorry, I don't want to stop every little tit for tat on with this and that, right? But
Movie finds a clunky way to let us know what Niobe's name is.
We're gonna do what Commander Locke ordered us to do. We'll evacuate broadcast level and return to Zion.
So why the meeting? Why didn't everyone head back to Zion after the order? Is it so Morpheus could suggest one of the ships stay behind?
How did you know someone was here?
This dude is somehow unaware of Neo's supernatural powers. Also, showdown number 1 with Agent Smith pushed to later in the film because I guess Smith just wants to play games and be coy, but also probably the script. Look, I get it. You're trying to show that Neo is so f***ing awesome at fighting that he's really only humoring these assholes, and even with upgrades, they still can't beat him. The problem is, that's f***ing boring. And also, I think the Wachowskis are the only people on planet Earth who forgot Neo could disintegrate agents by jumping into them, because he doesn't do any of that in this entire movie. Also, I truly believe this movie suffers from the same issue plaguing most Superman movies. The hero is too indestructible for us to give a shit during the action sequences. Alright, now that I've killed these agents, time to fly out of here and go to the Oracle's apartment all of a sudden.
Is Neo okay?
Okay, shit. Morpheus, you should have seen him.
It was exactly like the first movie, only way more boring. Also, it was Trinity who asked the question, but Morpheus is the one with the phone, so how did Link hear her? And why did he specifically address Morpheus?
wow, you know, like, are you not entertained? Like, people like this guy go to watch movies for the action scene, and they find it fucking boring. Like, dude, what the fuck do you want? If anything, why don't you make your own motherfucking movie and shut the fuck up? And goddamn, sometimes these people was like, wow, for fucking reals, yo.
Morpheus with that answer.
He's doing this Superman thing.
Oh, so he's breaking someone's neck? Also, DC Comics. Rubber Neo #1. If the Oracle's true message in the first movie was know thyself, and it was, then why are Neo and the others completely powerless to do anything without hearing from her again? Last time they were positive they needed her advice, and she told Neo he wasn't the one. An outright lie.
Was it? I mean, you even mentioned that in the first movie of how, Morpheus, had that confirmation from the Oracle. I don't know, man.
Stalking. These people are jacked into some sort of flight control matrix? Down in Zion? Why the for? Movie rips off the robot mech suits from Aliens. Also, this asshole quit doing his job before the gate closed completely. Slacker.
I want the ship ready to go as soon as humanly possible.
I thought that was the point of your ship coming back anyway. You needed to recharge, you have 36 hours to go back. I guess this is a long way of me saying unnecessary orders. Also, this is just a bunch of clips. And a mag light maybe. And I think a meat thermometer.
What is it between them?
Neo knows there's a deeper story here because the script said exposition scene at the top of the page.
What is it between them?
Morpheus.
Or he just read the energies and realized that there's some kind of like tension or whatever between Niobe and Morpheus. It's called, looking at other people's body language. Something people can do instead of, fixated on screens all the time in this digital dilemma, dystopian world we're fucking creating right now. Fuck's sake, so. You don't even see the signs of the times of how it's, trajectorying towards this bullshit ass motherfucking AI timeline. And motherfuckers like him are probably, on that timeline. I ain't on that shit.
Niobe.
Also, Neo plays the pronoun game so that Trinity has to ask who the hell he means by them.
Doesn't he have anything better to do?
You know what they say about the life you save.
It's worth two in the bush? You either saw the Animatrix or you didn't. Either way, you're probably wondering why they crammed this stupid kid into this movie.
I told you, kid, you found me.
Neo makes a casual reference to a far better Matrix film. Steampunk Office is steampunk.
I don't care about oracles or prophecies or messiahs.
Bad guy speaks for the audience.
Neo.
Not everyone believes what you believe.
Come on, you mean all the stuff Neo did in the first movie is simply a legend? Nobody knows the story of how Neo flew into an agent and destroyed him? Everyone...
I think that guy, that general, he's a typical archetype character of, really, left brain, imbalanced, and, with the military mindset and kind of just like overly in that, like seeing is believing type of thing, like he lacks intuition and just like basic observation of like, did you not see the results of what happened when, Neo got activated and all this stuff? Is that not a good positive fucking sign? And does that not give you more confidence in Morpheus? But no, there's like ego bullshit aside, like, no, I gotta be the one giving the orders and blah fucking blah and yada yada. And like this could happen within any freedom community or society that's trying to break away from the Matrix, right? So, things to consider of, looking at the bigger picture of things in order to, take the petty bullshit, ego shit aside, when having these types of negotiations or conversations and, difficult decision-making discussions. Anyways.
Was like, that Morpheus, he's always telling tales.
God damn, it's good to be home.
Home is a piece of shit. This pan-down shot is kind of cool, but it greatly exaggerates the size of Zion's population and requisite housing infrastructure requirements. Needy people cockblock. Also, the philosophy that Neo is some sort of Jesus becomes mind-numbingly literal.
Where's my puss?
How many girlfriends would let you refer to them as your pussy? My guess is none. Awesome badass chick Gina Torres from Aliens, Firefly, and Angel gets about 30 seconds in this movie.
Tank and Dozer believed him.
After all that bullshit with Tank surviving in the last movie, this movie decides that Tank died. Somehow. Without explanation since then. Basically, f*** you, Tank.
That's fucked up. Yeah, it's interesting. I was wondering, what happened to those guys? They were cool. Maybe, for casting reasons, whatever, they weren't available for the second movie. Shit happens, right? Kind of like Hugo Weaving with the fourth Matrix Resurrections, or,
Seeing Neo do the things he can do.
Like what? Flying and calmly beating up agents? Shit, we saw all that in the first movie.
I give you Morpheus.
Polarizing figure Morpheus somehow gets cheers from 90.
We only caught a glimpse of that, a taste in the first movie. So people acting like, oh, that's enough, that's good enough. Like, no, actually, to be inspired by an awakened individual, the one who's got the neocortex, activated, people should be studying those types of archetypes or, people more, not just a one-off type of thing, like how do they attain that level of consciousness and that kind of stuff? So obviously I'm talking about not just a fucking movie. I'm speaking a lot of times in terms of, allegory and metaphor, right? Which is what, the directors of the movie were encouraging.
99% of the crowd. Discount stomp. And who designed these f***ing things? Dr. Seuss? It's obvious the Wachowskis decided to put a weird rave scene in the first act of both this and the first Matrix movie. What's not obvious is f***ing why.
Maybe they were inspired by Jim Henson's Fraggle Rock. Who knows? But
haven't had sex in ages. We're dying to fuck, but hang on a few minutes while I light all these candles. So here we are at the 30-minute mark. Dancing. PG-13 sex in an R-rated movie. Hardly any ass kicked at this point, and we're at the exact same spot plot-wise as we were 20 minutes ago.
Hardly any ass kicked, and yet, you found the first, fight scene boring, or whatever the fuck. It's like just, again, like, what the fuck do you want? What do you expect? Make your own fucking movie and shut the fuck up.
This is sort of like Neo thinking about baseball so he doesn't climax too soon. Also, did the orgasm make him think about the nightmare, or did the nightmare assist in the orgasm?
All that matters is this.
Wait, what? They obviously can't take physical items with them through the phone line, so is this envelope symbolic? The fuck? I am so confused right now. Does this mean that if Neo answered the call intended for Trinity, he could be inside Trinity? That sounds really dirty, but seriously, once Agent Smith takes this dude's body, why does a phone call transportation system still allow him to transport? I figure you have to contain the same DNA of the guy you're transporting into, or else the Matrix wouldn't allow it, right?
I just haven't been able to sleep much.
We interrupt this Matrix sequel to bring you boring.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't. Interesting mechanics on how Smith transferred his coding into someone in real life or whatever. But yeah, maybe that's what people find more interesting than this next scene where he's like, oh, boring time, people are talking, boring, when he has some pretty cool quotes, and it gets philosophical, which a lot of these slapdick people don't want to fucking pay attention to. So that's why they're staying at that lower level lead-based consciousness, which is fucking sad. It's like you can't even take a couple moments to be intrigued by a philosophical moment in a movie. Your brain shuts off, like, boring. Like, this is how badly conditioned people are. Like, just more entertainment. Can't get enough of it. Drunk off of this shit. It's fucking belligerent, man.
Old men like me don't bother with making points.
This movie is definitely going to make up for its violation of the ass-kicking protocol later on, but the question is, will I still be awake by the time it gets there?
Because you got that, goldfish attention span? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, again, like, can't get... I'm sitting on my ass waiting to be entertained. I don't have a proper activated imagination. I can't just entertain myself through, any given second of my life. Like, what the fuck?
Neo is from the Oracle.
Wait, that's not the important message from the envelope that can't possibly have come through the phone line from a computer program into the physical world, is it?
No, I don't believe.
Or maybe it's kind of like a floppy disk where, they downloaded something from their main computer so they can give Neo a physical copy of that message or whatever, so he can, look at it later on his own accord or whatever, right? Things to consider.
Believe in this stuff.
But I do. It's always brought me luck.
You maintain a belief system that is based on luck? It took me a while to figure out this was Agent Smith inside this dude's body.
Semantics, it's not about luck per se, but think of it as like a talisman, and those types of thing where, yeah, if people put, certain intentions and energies into things of the sort, they do come in handy, and it's not just by luck or chance, but that unspoken herd that permeates the universe.
I mean, we saw him twice, but both times he wore sunglasses or was in shadows. So at this point, he just seems like a random dude who hates Neo, or Discount Cypher from the first movie. Stupid kid ex machina.
Bane.
Seriously, this dude's name is Bane? Did his parents know that one day he would be possessed by Agent Smith and become a bad guy? Batman much?
Good luck.
So he could easily stab Neo right now, right? Neo isn't in the Matrix, doesn't have access to his badass powers, and there are a million Agent Smiths in the Matrix, so even if he fails and dies, who cares? You were going to take a chance and stab him in the back, so why not now? Also, why a knife?
Yeah, and that's interesting. He wanted to do that in front of everyone instead of waiting for a more prime time to catch him alone. And yeah, he's looking a little red-handed.
This dude has access to guns, right?
Or am I still in charge of our
Oh, look, more talking. I like Kung Fu as much as the next guy, but is it always...
Yeah, more talking. And it's like, were people not interested to understand how the society within Zion operates and all that shit? Like, sometimes I question people's motivation to even watch their fucking movies. You know what I mean? Is it this bad? For fuck's sake, yo.
Supposed to be this boring?
I had to be sure. Of what? That you are the one.
That dumbass fight we just saw proves Neo is the one. Also, Seraph plays the stop short game.
Dumbass fight, I guess, like it's a choreographed fight. Try to do better. Fuck's sake, yo.
So that Neo has to ask him what the hell he meant by I had to be sure.
You do not truly know someone until you fight them.
Movie sets up a ridiculously delicious premise, but then never delivers on it by having something unexpectedly badass happen. Like Neo having to fight Morpheus or Trinity or someone he thinks he knows in order to find out they're actually traitors or something. Instead, no, just a saying. F you, angel dude.
You do not truly know someone until you fight them.
Also, I keep telling my potential girlfriends that, but I always end up bloodied at the antique shop.
The ones doing their job, doing what they were meant to do, are invisible.
I think the movie could basically have started here. Sentinels are going to attack Zion. Let's go to the Oracle. Awesome ideas about the Matrix and Rogue programs. Boom! This is the scene that finally sets the movie into motion.
Because you're the one.
That's not what you said last time.
Seems like every time we meet, I got nothing.
Are we watching the same movie? What the hell, yo? But yeah, I guess I think there's some kind of Oriental practice or philosophy behind, what Surf said about, like you never know someone until you fight them type of thing, And you can take that literal or I guess more metaphorical of like or interpretation of fighting. Like we could be talking about verbal jousting and that kind of stuff, asking questions, getting the right answer to make sure that it's not an imposter. And there's a lot of imposters in the Matrix. Like why blame them for having that protocol? Whatever.
Nothing but bad news.
No, you got nothing but riddles and instructions, lady. You have never had anything resembling news. Hey, can I go back with you guys? Can you send me to a place where I can get out of here? No? Okay, I'll fight 100 Agent Smiths then. Oh well. So this fight goes on for 6 minutes. Agent Smith was a formidable adversary in the first movie, but hundreds of Agent Smiths are no match for Neo in this one. Feel free to use the restroom at this point. This fight is a lot of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Wait, this is a place where any asshole can walk by and see this? If so, why is this the first person stumbling on this fight? Neo gets punched in the face a zillion times, but his glasses keep on ticking. This reminds me, why doesn't Neo just go ahead and fly the hell out of here? Rubber Neo number 2. Also, this is a classic example of a scene that looked fantastic on the big screen opening weekend, but then can never really be viewed at home again without the experience being soiled by how obvious the CGI becomes. Finally, the 100 Agent Smiths get smart and pile on Neo, instead of doing the one-by-one silliness that all bad guys do in fights like this, but even that proves totally pointless. Neo could crush Superman with his penis if he wanted to. Haha, they can't fly. But why? I mean, he can in the next movie. He's not a human being, he's a computer program, but he still somehow has to earn or learn the ability to fly?
Oh, he did take over the Oracle's abilities after that, and again, yeah, we've all seen worse CGI than that and all that, but I don't know. People like him seem to be big action movie fans, yet when the action comes, they're never happy or satisfied with it, unless it goes 100% their preferred way of things. It seems, but whatever. Again, we can't take these things for 100% face value, of course, and I'm sure his opinion changed a little bit over time, and yada yada. It's just it is what it is. If anything, it's this guy's video is way more boring than the actual fucking movie. So to each their own.
Now there's more than one of them.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
No worries. I'm sure they're just waiting to explain that in the third movie. Right? Right?
Comprehension is not a requisite of cooperation.
This motherfucker sounds just like a machine. Let's get him! Also, harmonica necklace.
Because some things never change, Jason, and some things do.
Why don't any of these citizens turn into an agent when they see Neo and Morpheus? Morpheus is a dick to people who don't want to use the stairs. Why don't any of the citizens eating at the Merovingian's restaurant turn into agents when they see Neo and Morpheus in there?
Action, reaction, cause, and effect.
Since when do programs get so damn wordy and preachy? Every character Neo runs into in this movie has a master's degree in philosophy.
Truth is, we are completely.
Cake orgasm.
I am so sick and tired of his bullshit. On and on. Pompous prick.
Man, lots of people in this movie keep saying what the audience is thinking.
Sure, yeah, and a lot of people keep thinking that a lot of French people act like this guy and that they're some pompous prick or whatever. When no, I've lived in France for 15 years, and a lot of French people are quite humble and chill and not arrogant like they're portrayed in a lot of bullshit stereotypes. And again, this is one of the most important parts of the movie. He's explaining the law of cause and effect, causality. And one of the more interesting things about cinema is when the directors and writers, have the villain spilling the beans on the most, truthful things within the movie, And yeah, again, like that just, it bypasses a lot of people's bias. They just don't see that. They can't see it. It's a form of mind control, and it's a logical fallacy of, blaming or not blaming, judging the information based off of who's saying it instead of just the validity of what is being said. So this is elementary shit,
Kiss.
I'm gonna help you, but only if you kiss me cliche. What? That's not a cliche? That's just completely stupid? Okay, well, no cliche, but still plenty of sin for this bullshit. Come on. I mean, this is Monica Bellucci, man. Make that shit count. Kissing her like you do Trinity would not be hard. I'm serious about this because I'm taking off my sunglasses. This kitchen doesn't have the end fight scene.
Again, metaphor with glasses, and and it's also that kind of thing, like a form of respect. You're being more intimate when you actually have that proper fucking eye contact, like this mosquito. And this is what you've deduced, man, from his overall body language and the fact that he doesn't want to disrespect Trinity or be infidel or whatever, despite that being a solution to their situation,
From the Raid 2 happening in it right now.
They do his dirty work.
Why the long introduction when you're just gonna kill them?
How many people keep silver bullets in their gun?
Wait, these guys are werewolves? The Oracle said stuff like that was possible. Now the movie's forcing me to debate whether it's better that we never see the werewolves or just be happy that I got the reference. I'm torn.
You can either run to the restaurant and tell my husband what I have done, or you can stay there and die.
Persephone.
Fuck. The screen changed, but in the background, the TV behind Trinity, in the clip before, right when he was talking about, werewolves, it was an image of like a vampire. So that's pretty interesting. And yeah, the whole vampire silver bullet reference and all that shit. Werewolf, whatever. Again, it gives some kind of character development. He's questioning, oh, why do these people have to talk? Almost, it sounds dumb as fuck. Like, to understand the movie, to understand the motives, to understand the nuances of characters, and have them get some kind of fucking character arc and development and all that kind of shit. Man.
And he lets one henchman live to tell the husband because promise to help implies simultaneous promise to harm, apparently. That's racist. Nobody here has any powers that can make this
Bordel de saloperie de merde, c'est pas raciste, connasse de merde, putain de fais chier. Yeah, it's not racist. He said, what the fucking hell is this mess? That's what he just said.
This fight interesting either. We interrupt this Matrix sequel to bring you the Force. Also, why doesn't he do that kind of shit more often? Also, why is he even using weapons anymore after realizing he can do shit like that? So this is still going. Fights aren't good because they're longer. They're only good when you feel like the hero could be in danger. Okay, so I understand that the keys change the rooms that you go into, but how do you change a room from the outside and not be in that same room yourself? See, here are guys who should be fighting Neo. These dudes have amazing powers and would present a challenge. But they're the only characters in this whole movie who do anything cool. We have the ability to become vapor. How do we ever get into this car?
He said they're the only characters in the whole movie that do anything cool. Like, can anyone take this guy seriously, man? What the fuck? Damn, how long we got? Shit.
Is the knife part of this twins program? Where it turns to vapor when he turns to vapor? If not, why doesn't he just turn other things into vapor by touching them? That could come in handy. You know what this movie...
Maybe he fucking can. Well, yeah, that does... He's possessing, weapons, and they, just dematerialize like him. That's, yeah, who knows?
This movie needs some good slow motion about now for no reason. Oh, awesome! Yeah, bullet holes appear and disappear all over this scene, but we aren't really into nitpicking little details like that. Are these people somehow oblivious to the f***ing war zone that has been coming up on their ass for 5 minutes? F***ing Oakland, man. Also, empty highway behind Chase is super empty.
Shots fired.
Where the f*** has this radio guy been this whole time? He's just now calling in shots fired? Dude, you are fired. Now that he's out of bullets, now's the time to vaporize over to the other car. Where did all this f***ing traffic behind them come from? Wait. So while the agent does this, what is the twin doing? He has an absolutely huge opening to kill Morpheus and Trinity and make off with the keymaker. This van is honking, I guess, for the incredible scene of watching a guy turn into vapor and land in the middle of the freeway unharmed. I mean, are the people who live inside the Matrix muggles or something? They don't see magic right in front of them? This computer program cop has terrible aim. Conveniently timed truck with convenient motorcycles is convenient. These two make this jump, but only through the power of editing. How the hell are agents coming from all over leaping into all these f***ing drivers and smashing the hell out of her and the keymaker? I guess this is the only person on the entire freeway who noticed the motorcycle. What? How did these cops know to drive down the exit ramp? And how could they be sure it was a completely empty exit ramp that they could enter the freeway with? Cool shot, but as we've seen, people getting possessed by agents go through all these convulsions before changing. The placement of the sword on the side of the truck jumps several feet between him stabbing it and him needing to stand on it. The next action I take will require the removal of my sunglasses. Oh look, the sword jumped back up to the top of the truck just in time for him to grab it in his hour of need.
Gotcha.
What?
Then you're meant for one more thing. Deletion.
Okay, so do it already. Why has the agent not already killed the keymaker 5 times by now?
Neo, if you're out there, I could use some help.
Morpheus says a prayer to Neo, and it's answered. Of course Neo saves the day. No one in this scene enters it at any time other than the exact perfect second. We interrupt this Matrix sequel to bring you a teaser trailer for the next one.
There is a building. Inside this building, there is a level where no elevator can go.
Welcome to the most confusing scene in movie history. Up is down, left is right, and everything is happening all at once, and not at all, while also being discussed and explained in what appears to be the same room where Neo first met Morpheus, which would be a stupid place for them to go, but like I said, there's so much wrong and weird with this entire scene, I'm just gonna roll the dinger for a couple seconds.
Yeah, and did a couple simple statements go over the heads of people like him that bad? Like, holy shit. And if there's not an elevator that takes you to that last level, maybe you just take the fucking stairs.
Mom,
Did he say bomb?
You know, pound for pound, Roy Jones is the worst actor they could have gotten to say this terrible line.
But like all systems, it has a weakness.
Of course it does. Sure, as Morpheus said, there are no accidents. Just really convoluted ways to get Trinity into the Matrix when Neo doesn't want her in there.
In 5 minutes, I'll tear that whole goddamn building down.
Yeah, we saw the dream at the beginning of the movie. Too bad there's no suspense now. Well, this timing is perfect, actually. Do you mind fighting with us for a little bit? Just for a few moments while our friends fix the power station crisis that we don't even know about so that we don't die when we open the door? Awesome.
Hold it right there, little lady.
Guard sees badass chicken leather walk into a restricted area and thinks of the words little lady. The Mr. Smiths behind Neo are just f***ing worthless. They let Neo do whatever he needs to do before attacking him again. Also, some of these Mr. Smiths are obviously not Hugo Weaving. Mr. Smith goes to Bowlington.
You know which door. Hurry, Neo.
Man, this dude was riddled with bullets, but thankfully he had exactly enough breath to give Neo the instructions.
You know which door.
Yep, it's so obvious.
I am the architect.
Remember that earlier scene that I said was the most confusing one in movie history? Yeah, about that. See, I hadn't actually watched any further than that point in the movie when I said that.
Ergo, some of my answers you will understand, and some of them you will not.
It's a convenient thing to say when the audience decides they have no clue what the f*** is going on.
You old white prick!
Did he say you old white prick?
Again, no one's analyzing, the villains as, these dark occult, psychologists, for lack of a better term, because they understand the human mind better than most humans. And so if you follow the way he talks, it can be, manipulative on purpose, so, and in some of the ways he's asking questions can be purposefully led to cause confusion and that kind of stuff. It's really not that hard to see these things. Well, what's the confusion about, guy?
Cause that's racist. So Link told her the bad guys were headed her way and to get the hell out of there, and she goes and waits for the elevator?
Thus I redesigned it.
You can tell this is a movie from 2003 when George W. Bush gets equated to Hitler.
There are 2 doors. The door to your right leads to the source and the salvation of Zion. The door to your left leads back to the Matrix, to her, and to the end of your species.
So basically no different from the choice Batman has to make in Batman and Robin. Previously on The Matrix Reloaded.
What was that? It's moving faster than anything I've ever seen.
First off, you know with your whole heart what that is. Second off, it can't be much faster than when Neo came out of the mountains to save Morpheus and the Keymaker from that truck crash at the last minute.
Or could it be the fact that, Neo's code, got activated, through that hard-based care, and he's like, have you ever cared about someone so much that, you have like almost like a superhuman ability for like that one little instant or whatever. So that's how I see, why they couldn't, it's like, what was that in the Matrix? I don't know what it is, but I've never seen it before, that kind of thing. It could be when the anomaly is activated and, going at light speed or some shit like that,
This is fucking awesome. A dozen years before Man of Steel, this movie stole Superman's thunder just a little bit. And by the same studio, too.
Holy shit, he caught it.
I know, amazing. You saw this before, remember? Also, at the speed Neo was flying, wouldn't this basically have been like a 747 crashing into Trinity? We'll explain his hand somehow reaching into her with the use of green digital characters. Also, I don't know whether I'm supposed to think this is amazing or be turned on. Why didn't he just pull the bullet out with the Force? Neo has been powered up from Superman Jesus to God Almighty.
I can't take this.
I really relate to this guy. This guy is the audience, only my amazement is more anger-based than his.
Guess this makes us even.
Yeah, you saved me with a miracle kiss that shouldn't have worked. I reached inside your body and took a bullet out and restarted your heart. But yeah, we're even. Women.
That's impossible.
Someone in a sci-fi movie declares something impossible cliche.
I have dreamed a dream.
We interrupt this second Matrix movie to bring you Les Miserables. Movie has the balls to come up with a fantastic cliffhanger ending after 2 hours of relative boredom.
It's the hammer.
The hammer is my penis. Also, weren't there way more than just 3 of those Sentinels back when they threw the bomb? Aren't the rest of them right behind those first 3 and killing all these fools right about now? Here's a cliffhanger ending for your ass. By the way, I had already sort of forgotten about Mr. Smith Bane and what he looked like, so seeing him upside down does me no favors. First time I saw this, I was like, who the f*** is that? Evil Neo? Come back in 6 months. We guarantee you'll be less pissed off about this movie then.
It's a bomb.
Bomb.
did he say, Paul?
Nah. Again, you know, it's this guy's mumbo jumbo word salad, the quick witty banter. You know, why is that so popular? Or you know, something seen as like cool and this and that. It's a bad look, especially when you're just operating from that level of consciousness. It's just, I don't know, guy. Kind of lost me, even in your first video, but so he already forgot that Bane was still on the ship and this and that. I mean, movies can be like that, kind of on purpose, where you know they don't cut back to certain scenes and you kind of lose track or forget about him, and then when they reintroduce it, do they not see the intention behind that sometimes? And yeah, obviously towards the end of the movie, they're leaving cliffhangers and all that stuff. So, you know, there is an art to these things, and you can respect that. Anyways, moving on, because I'm already getting tired of watching this shit. What happened? But it's all good. We're gonna do the third movie, and yeah, we might just leave it at that.
For dramatic purposes, patients in this ship's infirmary are placed head-to-head, giving us the yin-yang Neo-Smith shot we didn't know we wanted.
I bring word from the Oracle. You must come at once.
I won't tell you where, though, even though that's crucial information. We assume you can figure it out for yourself. Only this girl and her parents at the terminal, yet they ignore her enough so that she can just start chatting up Neo and stuff.
This isn't the Matrix.
That's where the train goes.
Thankfully, she's full of exposition. Oh, look, they knew where to meet Seraph without him saying anything about location. Wowee! One sin for regular old mortality, for causing this franchise to have to recast a role that was already perfectly cast.
Do you know what happened to Neo?
Yes, he is trapped in a place between this world and the machine world.
This train man shit is cool and all, but the movie never even once tries to explain how Neo controlling the Sentinels in the real world caused him to end up in this train limbo.
He has placed a bounty on your lives.
I mean, instead of looking like a clueless fool, what this guy who made this video could have done is, you know, actually paid attention when watching the movie and, you know, do a little side research even, you know. Watch even, you know, basic clips like, what is it? Matrix Explained, that YouTube channel, you know, and he talks about this specifically. He has a video that talks about the train man and that whole scene. So, you know, if people want to nerd out on that, be my guest. Or if you want to just stay in your bubble of ignorance and, you know, make your videos like this to make it seem like you're cool and as if you like know better than the the actual movie producers and all that stuff, like that's your fucking choice, man. Not the best one, but whatever.
You must be careful at all times.
Because prior to this moment, you did not need to be careful.
Sati, come here, darling. Leave the poor man
Maybe a friendly reminder, you know, fuck.
in peace.
You've coughed up enough exposition on him for one day.
I am sorry, she is still very curious.
If you were really sorry, you'd have stopped her from bothering Neo long before this. Also, he's a goddamn program. How do computer programs get so emotional and irrational?
I just have never
heard a program.
Just like the Oracle, have the, you know, ask the fucking architect, you know, like.
Programs speak of love.
It is a human emotion.
No, it is a word. What matters is the connection the word implies.
Clever dialogue, but you're still suggesting machines have emotions, which is not only weird, but goes against what this series of films have spent a lot of time trying to prove.
I see that you are in love.
Yeah, it could also be the, you know, artificial intel trying to understand the real intelligence that makes humans operate on the level they do with that emotional body and how we express ourselves and this and that. Yeah, programs like that guy are quite fascinated by it, you know? It's hard to think on the behalf of machines, but you know what I mean.
Computer program in another region place can see Neo's love for Trinity just by looking at him. This motherfucker is not running fast enough to outrun the Oracle, let alone Seraph, Trinity, and Morpheus. Also, in the last cut at the turnstiles, this dude was nowhere near this far ahead of them. Guy who runs super slow only needs a 3-car subway going by to disappear like vapor. Also, even if that head start is somehow a good one, which it isn't, these assholes still just give up.
Why? That is our karma. You believe in karma?
Dialogue like this, really, when you boil it all down, is why both Matrix sequels end up being more boring than entertaining.
It's over my big.
Whoa. Again, I'm kind of... I should have had a counter. Like, how many times is this guy going to say boring? You know? Again... The dialogue. Oh, they're... Fuck. Can we fast forward the movie? They're talking again. Jeez, I just want to see bang, bang, boom, boom. Like, that's what the fuck it sounds like.
Dead ass.
So be it.
Classic case of a bad guy waiting too damn long to just do what he was threatening to do. Even with the element of surprise, Seraph and gang only managed to kill one of the 5 gun check dudes on the first spray. But whatever, slow motion guns and rape music. Party time, am I right? Just a reminder, no one in the actual club, which has the coat and gun check just outside, can hear this shit. I know clubs be loud, but damn. Jesus, this room is a coat and gun check room. It is only this large with huge concrete columns everywhere so that this action sequence can take place. Discount rave scene from either of the 2 previous Matrixes. Or is it
you have not been to Europe, have you? Because there's a lot of buildings like that. And it could even just be for a motherfucking coat check, you know? Yeah, God, wow.
Matrices. Oh, f it. Who cares? I get why they're all 3 back-to-back going through the dance floor, but why do they have to be constantly spinning? Wouldn't staying in relative stationary direction give each of the 3 a better, longer look at the surroundings near them?
Possibly, but, you know, you understand how that movement works, and it's an easier fluid movement in the pattern that they're walking in back to back, all 3 of them. Instead of like doing a weird, you know, shuffle, they have a rhythm, and they work as a team, as we could be doing more of, you know, and being on the same page and with that same rhythm, you know. For fuck's sake. And you have like that cool, you know, trifecta, tri-union, I guess, with Trinity is, you know, anyways.
As opposed to constantly spinning and scanning?
Hey! Hey!
DJ wearing headphones in a loud-ass club that couldn't hear gunfire in the next room somehow hears the Merovingian yelling at him. Also, gas attack...
That is funny.
Victim DJ. Also, DJs. Does every person at this bondage nightclub know and respect the Merovingian enough to be basically soldiers for him? I mean, not one of them is going to complain about why the music stopped? Are none of these clubgoers drinking and or drunk? I couldn't even tell you the owner of my favorite nightclub if he walked up to me in a spandex bodysuit and pinched my ass. Or is this just the Merovingian's work headquarters, and all these people are his henchmen, and the dancing is just a byproduct of having so many latex-laden hotties all together in one room?
I am curious, though, as to how it actually happened.
Yeah, you and me both, buddy. Unfortunately, the movie ain't got no f***ing clue itself how that shit.
It's funny, usually when you see the Merovingian, he's he's eating, right? He's got that fine, luxurious stuff, and yeah, it's kind of, yeah, this, you know, Merovingian ancient bloodline, you know, they feel like they're connected to, like, Mary Magdalene, I believe. So they feel like they're superior, so they want to show that in all types of ways, you know, the fine dining and, you know, the little pinky up when you sip your champagne. Yeah, the train man is interesting. Matrix Explains does a video on that, but yeah, whatever.
So you'll just have to get over it and move on. Trinity starts kicking ass, and none of the gun-toting henchmen do anything, allowing Morpheus and Seraph to also start kicking ass, without any good guys getting shot, despite all logic and reason. This chick down here does not shoot Trinity the entire time she watches and catches the gun. I can't help but wonder how many other gun-toting assholes are just off-screen also not shooting Trinity. Latex Bondage Club Mexican standoff.
She'll do it. If she has to, she'll kill every one of us. She's in love.
Thank God the third movie finally paid off that completely weird and emotionless true love's kiss in the bathroom scene from the last movie.
I can't leave yet. I have to see her.
No.
No, at some later point in time. What the hell, Trinity? You get to see the Oracle, but your boyfriend, who is the one, can't?
I was hoping to have these done before you got here.
Well, you are the Oracle, right? Couldn't you have just started making the dough a few minutes earlier, since you knew when he was coming?
I think it's time for a tasting. Take the bowl to Seraph and find out if they're ready.
Salmonella. If you rearrange the letters on the fridge, it spells, you wasted a bunch of time looking at fridge letters for humorous anagrams and came up empty.
And you are all that stands in his way.
Smith.
Man, the Oracle's the f***ing master of the pronoun game. She wrote the book on that shit.
What is he?
He is you, your opposite, your negative. The result of the equation trying to balance itself out.
Okay, fair enough, but Neo is the sixth one, and we already saw Smith himself say in the last movie that his newfound power was a new development in the repeating Matrix cycle. And he said that way before Neo broke the cycle by saving Trinity instead of Zion. So, what I'm saying is, you're full of shit, lady.
I need time.
Okay, this is one of the movie's biggest problems.
Well, before you do that, I got a problem with what you said, and what the fuck? Yeah, Smith never had an upgrade like this last one. I wouldn't even call it an upgrade. Again, did you not watch the fucking movies? When Neo jumped into him and, you know, exploded him, whatever, it set him free. He's a new man, as he said. And so he's not the same type of program as he was before. And the fact that he said, I'm a new man, that's pretty interesting as well. And that's pretty much when, you know, it created this, you know, negative doppelganger, as far as like the negative side of the anomaly for the Matrix to balance out, I guess. Although, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, whatever.
To serve the story and the ebb and flow of the action in the film, Neo spends a super long time just thinking about what he should do. Even though the Oracle just told him in the last scene he already knew what he needed to do. If we weren't trying to line up parallel crescendos, then Neo would immediately head for the Machine City right now and end the war before Zion gets attacked. Agent Smith somehow controls this building's power. Okay, fine, but why is he shutting off the lights one at a time? For drama? Agent Smith is addicted to cookies.
What did you do with Santi?
Cookies need love, like everything does.
You are a bastard.
Well, you're the one that had Sati alone with you in an abandoned building when you knew Smith was coming. So, here's Neo, still seeing visions of the place he already knows he needs to go. Still not going.
Those grids are sneaky bastards. Could be a trap.
But wouldn't you pick them up on your scanners? Haven't we seen multiple times already that you can do that? Also, discount inside the space monster's throat scene from Empire Strikes Back.
What did she tell you?
The same thing she always does. Exactly what I needed to hear.
Oh, that's useful. Thanks. Overhead shot of supposedly small-ass Zion suggests there are millions more inhabitants than originally believed. Movie repeats Matrix Reloaded's mistake of thinking we give a shit about these two.
What the shit is going on over here?
What the shit?
What's a pod-born pencil neck like you doing volunteering for my cause?
That's racist. And do the Zion-born people harbor some kind of discrimination or ill will against people born on the pod farm? If so, why isn't that flushed out a little bit more? I can even see it. The Sneeches in Zion. Those are the ones with plugs on their mugs. Movie repeats Matrix Reloaded's mistake of thinking we give a shit about.
Give me a chance, sir. I won't let you down.
Again.
I'm sorry that I took so long.
So are we.
If we leave inside the hour, we should reach Zion as the machines do.
Imagine when you could have arrived if Neo hadn't taken his sweet-ass time on this decision.
What if I blew that EMP?
This guy's been playing his part correct the entire time, for days. But now, he decides to monologue and basically warn this chick about his evilness before killing her. How do Trinity and Neo actually lose chemistry as a couple as these movies go along? How is that possible? It's not like they had a ton to begin with. Did Lucas guest direct these scenes?
I ain't saying goodbye.
I'm not saying goodbye, cliche. She survives this.
Mr. Anderson.
This phrase alone does not immediately cause Agent Smith light bulbs for Neo and Trinity. And that's some bullshit. Now, I know this is Agent Smith we're talking about here, and his ego is nearly as big as Sean Penn's, but still sinning for the bad guy, wasting time, and not killing him already. Thankfully, the shards from that light she smashed on Bane's head a few minutes ago are handy to help her cut her binds. I realize she's probably limited in what she can do to help, but doesn't turning out the lights limit your boyfriend as much as it does the enemy?
Messiah.
Messiah? Man. Trilogy that doesn't want you to miss the Jesus parallels really doesn't want you to miss the Jesus parallels. Even now that he's blinded Neo, Smith still feels the need to mess with him instead of just punching him in the ear and then killing him with the gun.
I can see you.
The movie also never explains how Neo was the first and only of all the ones that could see and control machines outside the actual Matrix. But whatever. Cool shot, I guess.
Sorry, Trin, but I think you're gonna...
There were things that led up to that, and, he had that interaction with the Sentinels, and so that probably explains a little bit about that. And yeah, maybe Neo was more activated than the previous ones in the other versions of the one or of the anomaly. Just like, the architect talks about how, there's been different constructs of the Matrix that they've, designed, so whatever. And I'm not trying to, lose people in the whole lore and like theorize on shit like that. But anyways, so it just seems like this guy doesn't want to think outside the box. Like,
have to drive.
Why can't he drive the ship when he can sense and feel everything now? Just what in tarnation are these screens behind locks supposed to be showing? And how is this information in this graphical display any kind of useful? Movie rips off the robot mech suits from The Matrix Reloaded.
All right. This is it.
Movie shows us a vast shot of APUs, then shows us their commander giving the pre-war speech in a speaking voice the third row is probably struggling to hear.
If it's our time to die, it's our time.
Well, that's inspiring. Robot roll call.
Holy Christ, would you look at that?
So you can scan for Sentinels. What was that worry again earlier when you thought they might be ambushing you? They're inching along trying to sneak up on millions of Sentinels, but everyone is in the cockpit. Probably so that they have to scramble and waste time manning the guns when they made a stupid noise to alert the Sentinels to their presence. I f***ing knew it.
Systems.
Man, the gun turrets are...
Yeah, late much? Blatant Star Wars homage is Star Wars. The proper piloting of this hovercraft will require the removal of my sweater. This domed concrete ceiling is capable of being pierced without the whole thing raining down on bitches and shit. We've known for ages what direction these assholes were coming from, but sure, yeah. Let's wait until the last second to train our guns on the spot. Knuckle up! Machine drillers are basically self-reviving transformers. Machines wait forever to send the full strength of Sentinel forces. Then the Sentinels join 5 streams into one for the main assault, making themselves much easier to target for the few guns that exist in this dock. The Sentinels are terrible at finding humans until the humans shoot rockets at them. How is a giant-ass hover ship faster than these motherfuckers? The Sentinels blow off a hover pad in 2 seconds flat, but how much you want to bet it takes them forever to get the rest of them off? We can hack into the Matrix and put humans inside a computer program wearing and carrying anything we want, but when it comes to targeting computers, just triangles, dog. That's all we can offer. Sorry, yo. Damn, these hovercraft are built like f***ing tanks.
Captain, you see that? The rest of the radio, stop them!
You haven't even tried to use the radio to call Zion once. Why protect what you're not using? Also, call Zion on the radio before the radio gets destroyed, goddammit. The Sentinels are terrible at finding humans until the humans shoot rockets at them. Either these Sentinel arms have the aim of stormtroopers, or else these gals are luckier than Andrew Luck on a luck dragon.
No one can pilot mechanical.
I bet there's at least one person who can, and I bet the movie tells us how awesome a pilot that person is about 153 times.
We blow an EMP inside there, we'll lose the dock.
Sir, we already lost the dock.
Open the gate.
How in the fuck are you giving shit to Morpheus later about blowing the EMP when you went out of your way to help him do it? Before they finalized character names for this script, this dude's name read as 100% Dick Guy number 1.
Jet 3's not responding! Taking critical damage, sir! We lost control!
Relatively random carnage has ironic timing.
Oh dear woman, you can drive.
We ain't home yet.
How did you hear that? You don't have a headset on anymore. Are all his comments just broadcast ship-wide? This guy wouldn't be alive anymore if entire swarms of Sentinels weren't constantly passing him by. There are clearly more than enough Sentinels here to keep this guy from making an ammo run, let alone eventually saving the day. And while we're at it, how come the super strong exosuit things can only carry 2 boxes of ammo at a time? That's a design flaw if I've ever seen one. Cool shot, I guess, but what the hell are these Sentinels doing? Showing off? Is it like a machine version of ribbon ballet gymnastics or something?
Heads up, they're coming down!
So what? They don't do anything to you when they fly past you anyway. What's the worry? None of the 10,000 Sentinels swarming and eating and killing Mifune noticed the delicious teenage human dangling off the back. Maybe they read the script?
Hurry. There's no time.
I didn't finish the training program.
Movie repeats Matrix Reloaded's mistake of thinking...
Here to die.
But you did finish the dying with one eye open program.
Get to the main deck. Charge the EMP.
Yeah, because that's not something you could have done earlier or anything.
I believe.
You believe what? That there is no spoon? That shooting this thing will open the door? That Neo is the one? You already believed that, didn't you? Why are you wasting time to say this thing? Also, I guarantee Neo does not give a shit about whether or not you believe. You know, even if they survive this machine attack, everyone in Zion is going to die of smoke inhalation anyway. You're miles underground after an EMP. Where's all this light coming from right now?
You're a hell of a pilot.
After telling us for 2 movies that Niobe is a hell of a pilot, and then actually showing us Niobe in the act of being a hell of a pilot, Repetitive Movie feels compelled yet again to tell you she's a hell of a pilot. Thank God this dock is on fire right now, am I right? Or else none of us would be able to see you in order to cheer you.
Did I miss something, Commander? I thought we just saved the dock.
What's the problem with you people? You can't think but 5 minutes in front of your face.
You were the one who ordered the dock door open, so they could do the thing they did that you're now being a dick about. Dick?
That EMP knocked out almost every piece of hardware in every APU.
Why only almost every piece of hardware? It knocked out every Sentinel, even the ones outside the dock already escaping. But the good guys still have some equipment left that works?
Save the dock, Captain. You just handed it to him on a silver platter.
Well, you did, but whatever. Semantics, I suppose. I guess we're using those minimally lasting damage EMPs where everything can be restarted instantly except the dead Sentinels, of course.
Because he's the one who believes in miracles.
Meanwhile, back at the 3 electrical conduits. Also, why did the machines build the fields of humans so far away from the machine city? Was it just for dramatic timing purposes? Gotcha! Wait, what? Did the Sentinel ghost come through the ship but not its physical body? Are they currently fighting against both physical and ghost Sentinels?
Go up. Over them.
What?
The sky. It's the only way.
But we're in a hovercraft, Neo. There's a limit to how far we can hover from things, like Earth.
We made it.
Premature self-congratulations.
I wished I had one more chance to say what really mattered.
Which I will do here in a moment, provided I don't run out of breath and die during this setup.
But you brought me back. You gave me my wish. One more chance to say what I really wanted to say.
Just say it already! Gasp crying. Oh, sure, it takes him 6 hours to think about whether or not he's sure about his mission. But Morning Trinity? That shit's over in seconds. The blind Neo can see light thing is cool, for sure. But this makes it look like he's got no idea if he's stepping on solid surfaces or about to plunge to his death. Literal deus ex machina. Also, were the machines like, we'd better at least appear human when we negotiate with this human, because that way he won't realize we're machines. These Sentinels land, and then instead of attacking, they just stalk forward. Then the humans respond by not attacking. This is a weird-ass battle. The machines just accept this. Thunder and lightning indicate the Matrix had gone to shit. How do all the identical Agent Smiths know which one of them is the true original one that gets to fight Neo? And while we're on that subject, what was the point in making all the Agent Smith clones if you were still going to fight Neo with just one of them? I realize Smith winning is exactly how Neo wins, but Smith doesn't know that. He should be attacking Neo with all the Smiths.
It ends tonight.
I know it does. I've seen it. That's why the rest of me is just going to enjoy the show.
A couple problems here. First off, how is Smith getting visions now?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm sorry you guys have to suffer this drivel. Yeah, Agent Smith took over the Oracle. He stole the eyes of the Oracle. Like, what the fuck is so hard to understand about this, man? Like, fucking A, dude. This guy's just like inventing shit to talk shit about, it seems. Like, at this point, like, fucking A. We're watching 2 different movies here, apparently, you know?
Didn't Neo get visions previously, too, in this very movie? I know they're yin and yang and all that shit, but why would Smith gain visions and Neo lose them?
Symbolism.
Why didn't Neo have any visions of this event? Second, are you...
Because he didn't have the eyes of the Oracle.
Are you actually telling me cockiness is the reason Smith chooses to fight Neo as one man instead of an army of millions? Because I'm pretty sure the real reason is special effects cost. Kung Fu Flex of Defiance. This is the second huge exploding slow-motion ball of water shot in the last 3 minutes. It's a cool effect and all, but the movie will show us Neo's revelation about how he needs to die to kill Smith here in a few moments. So my question is, what's his plan right now? Fight to the death with each of the millions of Agent Smiths one at a time? Damn, this movie is more in love with its slow-motion exploding water effects than it is with the story or any of its characters.
No. He's got his confirmation bias a little rigid there, but okay.
Superman is a dictum metropolis. Oh, wait. Yeah, no need to fly to the location of impact. Walking dramatically will suffice. Also, production saved a ton of money on rain machine rental and green camera filters by shooting on the Road to Perdition set.
You believe you're fighting for something, for more than your survival? Can you tell me what it is? Do you even know?
Yeah, he's fighting to end the machine war with humans. He's actually come here prepared to die. Honestly, you're the most in-the-dark character in the film right now.
Only a human mind could invent something as insipid as love.
But the program dude back at the train station went to great lengths to waste lots of my time by explaining that machines too feel love. So now I'm confused. Plastic punch.
He saved us.
The military commanders aren't even positive the Sentinels are leaving for real and for good. But sure, kid, go run and tell all of Zion that the war is over without any actual proof. All you know is that this current battle is paused, and may be over. Why is the Chancellor hanging out 15 yards behind the front lines? Oh, sure, when the Sentinel army was approaching, you held a sweaty naked dance party in here. But now that the war is over, it's just hugs? I demand quick flashes of interracial nudity. Reluctant peacekeeping machines show respect to Neo's dead body, instead of just logically turning it immediately into liquid fuel.
I have your word.
What do you think I am? Human?
Right, because the machines haven't ever lied or been deceitful this entire series.
That's why the rest of me is just going to enjoy the show.
Whatever, bro. Oh, wow. Fuck. I had to suffer through that a little bit. Oh, jeez. At the end of the movie, he's wondering and almost, concerned that, the people in Zion weren't getting all half naked and raving, as they did in the previous movie. They had other things to celebrate, now they're, trying to pick up the pieces and in some kind of relief after the trauma that was inflicted upon them and had their city destroyed to a good degree. It ain't the time to be all jumpy, happy, hip-hop hooray, whatever the fuck. But anyway. Yeah, I just wanted to show this as an example of a lot of stuff that's out there. And these people lack a lot of holistic intelligence. Some of them completely, who knows? But yeah, again, I wish there were classes or shit, people could make videos even of just, how to watch a movie to, identify allegories and that kind of stuff. And I feel like sometimes, you have to watch the whole thing and kind of let it marinate and kind of get that hindsight, I guess, with the whole totality considered and all that. But yeah, obviously there's certain details and numbers. People have to pay attention to the signs in the movies, in scenes. What kind of numbers in words and names and locations are being corresponded and being shown, or even things that are emphasized or zoomed in on and all these things. So yeah, for someone that's going frame by frame, looking at all the details, looking for things that, are just, he thinks aren't, good movie making or whatever. Yeah, he overlooked a lot of stuff, like even the Neo's passport or whatever, the ID of, the 9/11 reference and that classic one, right? Just nothing even close to that in this guy's, ramblings and whatever, ranting. It's just unimpressive, Although, yeah, it does take effort and time to make a video like this and blah, blah, blah. And the finished product is, based off of, that person's level of intelligence, which isn't that fucking high. And so, voila. There you have it. Do I want to play a little something? Do I have anything else here? Okay, yeah. Let's just do this one. This video's probably got copyrights on it, so yeah, just keep on going with it.
Mr. Anderson. You got my package?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Whoever it is, he's not reading like an agent.
Surprised to see me?
No.
Then you're aware of it.
Of what?
Our connection. I don't fully understand how it happened. Perhaps some part of you imprinted onto me, something overwritten or copied. It is at this point irrelevant. What matters is that whatever happened for a reason.
And what reason is that?
I killed you, Mr. Anderson. I watched you die. With a certain satisfaction, I might add. And then something happened. Something that I knew was impossible, but it happened anyway. You destroyed me, Mr. Anderson. Afterward, I knew the rules. I understood what I was supposed to do, but I didn't. I couldn't. I was compelled to stay. Compelled to disobey. And now here I stand because of you, Mr. Anderson. Because of you, I'm no longer an agent of this system. Because of you, I've changed. I'm unplugged. A new man, so to speak, like you, apparently free.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But, as you well know, appearances can be deceiving, which brings me back to the reason why we're here. We're not here because we're free. We're here because we're not free. There's no escaping reason, no denying purpose, because as we both know, without purpose, we would not exist. It is purpose that created us. Purpose that connects us. Purpose that pulls us, that guides us, that drives us. It is purpose that defines. Purpose that binds us. We are here because of you, Mr. Anderson. We're here to take from you what you tried to take from us.
Yeah. Just scenes like that, and this guy just overlooks it or doesn't consider it, and again, I'm not trying to bash this dude. It's just, you know, Mr. CinemaSins, congratulations on wasting my time. No, just kidding. Yeah, I'm not gonna continue on wasting yours. Thank you for watching this, and yeah, I'll be back with, you know, that real good shit. Still wanted to cover the Matrix 4. I was going to what do you call it? Yeah, I was gonna feature Mark Passio's Decoding the Matrix 4, and he did 2 podcast episodes on that, and it's like a total of between like 5 to 6 hours. So stay tuned for that, because that one's phenomenal, and that really sparked a lot of motivation for me to do something like this as well. I took some screenshots of you know, watching the Matrix 4 and things that I'm gonna do my own video. Not a super deep analysis of the movie stuff, but yeah, just the Matrix of life in general and stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna try not to do this overkill Matrix live stream marathon, but hey, voila, c'est la vie, and it is what it be. Anyways, see you later. Peace.